Two people, same age. Same term length. Same coverage amount. But they don't buy the same kind of term policy. One pays $50 a month. The other pays $55. That's just $5, right? But spread it across 20 years and you're looking at about $1,400. Now here's where it gets interesting. The person paying a little more each month might finish the term and get every dollar of premium returned back to them. The person paying less finishes the term and gets nothing back. Same term. Same headline coverage. Totally different product under the hood, and a totally different ending. Welcome to Wiseside Life and Legacy. I'm Nakel Nikiema, and this is episode 6, Level Term, Decreasing Term, Return of Premium, Choosing Your Variant. Last time, we focused on what term insurance is and how to choose the right length, like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Today we're zooming in on something a lot of people never even hear about, term insurance variants. Think of them as different versions of term insurance that change how the benefit behaves, how the premium is priced, and what happens when the term ends. Most people get quoted level term because it's the standard and it's easy. But depending on your situation, a different variant might fit better. And even if level term is still the right answer for you, understanding the alternatives helps you make the decision on purpose, not by default. So today, we'll break down the three main variants: level term, decreasing term, and return of premium term. I'm going to use the same example person across all three so you can compare the numbers side by side and actually feel the difference. Let's get into it. First up, level term. This is what most people mean when they say, "I want term insurance." It's the standard version. The big idea is simple: your premium stays the same for the entire term, and the death benefit stays the same for the entire term. Locked in. Predictable. So let's bring back our example, David Carter. He's 38 years old, an electrical engineer, and he's looking for a $500,000 policy over 20 years. With a 20-year level term policy, let's say David's premium comes in at $52 a month. And that number doesn't shift. Year 1, he pays $52. Year 10, he pays $52. Year 20, he pays $52. At the end of the 20 years, the policy is done. It expires. If he still needs coverage after that, he has options like renewing, applying for a new policy, or converting, depending on the contract. But here's the part people miss: at that point, it's usually a lot more expensive, because he's older and his health might not be the same. Now if we do the math on the total cost, $52 a month times 12 months times 20 years equals $12,480 paid over the full term. And for what it protects, that's still a strong value. $500,000 of protection during the years when many people have the highest risk exposure: kids in the house, mortgage payments, income that a family depends on. This is why level term is the right answer for most people, most of the time. It's straightforward. It's stable. You can build your plan around it without guessing what the policy will do later. Alright, now let's talk about the second variant, decreasing term. Decreasing term looks similar on one surface point: your premium is typically level, meaning it stays the same month after month, like level term. But the big change is on the benefit side. The death benefit shrinks over time. It literally decreases as the years pass. So if David buys what's called a $500,000 decreasing term policy, it might start at $500,000 in year 1. But then as time goes on, that number steps down. Maybe by year 5 it looks more like $400,000. By year 10, $300,000. By year 15, maybe around $150,000. And by year 20, it reaches zero because the policy ends and the benefit has been declining the entire way. Because the insurance company expects to be on the hook for less coverage later, the premium is usually lower. So instead of $52 a month, maybe David pays $38 a month for decreasing term. Over 20 years, that total is $38 times 12 times 20, which equals $9,120. So compared to level term, it's about $3,000 cheaper over the same time period. Now the real question is, when is that trade-off actually smart? Decreasing term can make sense when what you're insuring is also decreasing. The classic example is a mortgage. If your main concern is, if I pass away, I want the house paid off, then a decreasing benefit can line up with a mortgage balance that's falling as you make payments. In that specific kind of situation, decreasing term is doing something logical, matching your coverage to your shrinking obligation. But there's a trap here, and it catches people because the price looks so good at the beginning. The trap is that life doesn't always follow the clean plan you have on paper. What if you take on a new obligation later? What if you have another child? What if you change jobs and lose some employer coverage? What if you refinance, start a business, or suddenly realize that you want more protection at year 15? With decreasing term, if you're deep into the policy, your coverage may have already dropped dramatically. And at the exact moment you want more coverage, you may be older, and buying new coverage may be more expensive or more difficult. So decreasing term is genuinely useful, but it's narrow. It's for someone who knows their need will decline, and who doesn't expect major changes that would increase the need later. For many families, level term is still the safer structure because it keeps the benefit intact the whole way through. Now let's move to the third variant, and this is the one you've probably seen advertised, return of premium term. Return of premium, often called ROP, is basically term insurance with a refund promise attached. The pitch is simple: if you outlive the term, the insurer gives you back the premiums you paid. So let's run David through the same setup again, $500,000 of coverage for 20 years. With return of premium, the monthly premium is higher, because you're buying that refund feature. Instead of $52 a month for level term, maybe David pays $67 a month for ROP. That's $15 more every month. Do the total over 20 years and you get 67 times 12 times 20, which equals $16,080. And here's the key part: if David is alive when the term ends, the company cuts him a check for $16,080. Essentially, his full premium back. Typically that refund is treated as a return of what you paid rather than a gain, which is why it's commonly described as coming back tax-free. On the surface, that sounds amazing. People hear it and think, so I'm protected for 20 years, and if I don't die, I get my money back. Why wouldn't I do that? But the real decision is hidden in that monthly difference. Because the comparison isn't really 52 versus 67. The comparison is, what else could you do with that extra $15 a month? If David buys level term for $52, he keeps $15 each month compared to ROP. If he takes that $15 and invests it consistently for 20 years, even at a modest average return, it grows. For example, at around 3% annual growth, investing that $15 monthly for 20 years could land somewhere around $5,000 in accumulated value. The exact number depends on the return and timing, but the point stands: compound growth changes the outcome. So the decision becomes, do you want the certainty of getting back the entire premium you paid, or do you want the flexibility of paying less and potentially ending up with more by investing the difference yourself? In many cases, level term plus investing the difference wins on pure math. You pay less for the insurance, and you keep control of the money you would have spent on the ROP rider. But return of premium does have a real advantage, and it's not just numbers. It's psychological. A lot of people buy term insurance, outlive the term, and then feel a strange kind of frustration. They'll say, I paid all that money and got nothing. And logically, that's not the right way to see it, because the whole point was protection during the years you needed it. You don't complain that your smoke alarm never went off. You're glad you had it. But emotionally, some people still feel that regret. Return of premium is built to eliminate that feeling. It gives you an ending that feels like a win either way. If the policy pays out, your family is protected. If it doesn't pay out, you get a refund and feel like you didn't waste the money. So in a sense, with ROP you're paying extra to remove the chance of buyer's remorse. Alright, now that you've got all three variants, let's put them into a simple decision framework. Level term is the default for a reason. Fixed premium, fixed death benefit, simple structure. It's predictable, usually the most cost-effective for straightforward income protection, and it does what most families need most of the time. For many people, it's the set it and forget it solution. Decreasing term is the debt-aligned option. If your need really is shrinking year after year, like a mortgage you're steadily paying down, it can be a cost-saving fit. But it's not forgiving. If your life changes and you need more coverage later, you might discover that your benefit has already dropped right when you want it most. Return of premium is the peace of mind option. It can be appealing if you value the certainty of getting your money back. But you're paying for that feature, and in many scenarios you can come out ahead financially by buying level term and investing the difference yourself. So here's your assignment for the week. If you're shopping for term insurance, don't accept a single quote and assume that's the full menu. Ask for quotes for all three variants using the same term length and the same coverage amount. Make it apples to apples. Then look at the monthly premiums, look at the long-term totals, and think about your life honestly. Do you need protection that stays steady because you've got a family to support and responsibilities that don't shrink quickly? Level term probably fits. Is your need basically tied to a single debt that's dropping every year, and you're confident your risk profile won't change? Decreasing term might be worth exploring. Do you know you'll feel regret if you pay for coverage and never use it, and you're willing to pay extra to avoid that feeling? Return of premium could match your personality, even if it's not the absolute best math outcome. And that leads to the key takeaway I want you to remember. The cheapest variant isn't automatically the best variant. The best variant is the one that matches your obligation and your peace of mind. Level term is the workhorse. Decreasing term is specialized. Return of premium is driven by psychology as much as finance. Know what you're buying, and don't let the default option be chosen for you without a conversation. Also, one more thing that matters: choose the variant that makes sense for your life, not the one that makes sense for the agent's commission. The simplest way to protect yourself is to ask for all the options and compare them. Next week, we're moving into episode 7, Real Stories, when term worked and when it didn't. Two families, real outcomes, and the lessons you can take from what happened. Until then, ask for variant quotes, run the numbers, and make the choice intentionally. I'm Nakel Nikiema. This has been Wiseside Life and Legacy. Educate. Empower. Protect your legacy. We'll see you next week.